Hey, what's up, everybody? One coach's opinion, and that's just what it is, my opinion. But this one's going out to all the coaches who put in all that hard work with these guys. You know, win or lose, you can't get the time back. But hopefully, you gain a lot more out of it than you're putting in. But I just want to share a couple stories with you, and I'm sure some of you coaches have some stories about what people think it is that we kind of do. And so my first one is, I got a guy calls me. He says that, man, he wanted to train, he wanted to box, and I'm like, man, cool. Explain the training situation. So I just asked him in general, well, what are you trying to get out of it? What do you want out of it? Usually I ask this people this, if, are you doing it for physical fitness? Do you want to try to pursue something? What do you want? Then when they tell me how much time they got and this and that, I can say, okay, yeah, it can be done, or it really can't be done. So I asked them, what do you want to do in boxing? What do you want to do with this? So, I know how to maybe put your training schedule together. So this is what he tells me. He said, yeah, I've never really been trained, but I've sparred before. And he says, so really what I want to do, my plan is, man, to start training, man, have about 15 amateur fights. I want to run through the amateurs. I don't want to fight no bums, I'm gonna get out there. I'm just gonna run through the amateurs real quick, and then I want to turn pro. And I don't want to be a pro for a long time, but I want to turn pro. And I want to I ain't trying to fight no bums, straight dogs. I want to fight all the dogs, win a world title, and retire and then take care of my family. And I'm like, well, that doesn't even sound like dreams. That sounds like a plan. Like, this is your plan, And you can't really knock nobody for their plan, but any coach will say, this is kind of ridiculous. And and then I asked him, I said, well, how old are you? It's a phone conversation. He said, I'm like 33. Like, in my mind, 33. If you was 18, this still would be a task at hand, what I'm saying? But 33, and I'm just saying, it's not as easy as some folks think, what I'm saying? It's not as easy as, hey, yeah, the only thing that stops me from becoming a world champion is I just don't have enough time in the gym. It's people that spend hours in the gym and will not be world champions. The guys I got that people say, oh yeah, he's gonna be a world champion someday, might not be world champions. This isn't just a thing that once you start hitting bags and running, your plan is to be a world champion. But to describe it how he described, like, it's just that easy. It's just that easy. Once I start training, I know it's gonna happen. And I know people say, speak it to be true. If you say it enough times, it's gonna be true. And I'm not even gonna say and take that away from boxing and say, look, man, if you want to be a world champion, you just say it enough, you're gonna, because it can happen. There's plenty of world champions that probably said, man, when I first started, I told myself I was gonna be a world champion. Yeah. And there's plenty of other guys that said the same thing and didn't become world champions too. So it kind of balances out. And I'm not trying to knock nobody's dreams, but us as coaches, we face some crazy obstacles. And the whole point is, man, boxing isn't as easy as people think. You ask anybody that's in here doing it, how easy this is. Not only are you kind of sort of disrespecting your coach, because we only gonna do what we do with everybody, what I'm saying? We know everybody we train is gonna be world champions anyway, but other boxers that are putting in the time and effort and years to get to where they're trying to get, and you say, man, I just want to just do it. So, and then, okay, my second story, I got another guy, I'm working with him. We started working, So, you know, I'm teaching this guy basics of boxing. I mean, I guess he's been a few places. And, you know, somebody has already, you know, worked with him a little. So he didn't come in super, you know, couldn't do nothing like I had to tell him to stand or nothing like that. He got all that down. But, you know, I'm working with him for like the third day. And he's like, when can I spar? I was like, when can you spar? He was like, yeah, when can I spar? Now, granted, let me add this in. I can't even get this guy to throw a body head combination. He doesn't know what it is. He don't know the body and then come over top of your hook head. He doesn't know what that is. Now, this is after I spent 30 minutes showing him what body head was. And when I get to the pads, I'm like, body head. He's like, oh. And, you know, I'm not trying to put nobody on blast. I'm just trying to say this takes work. But, you know, I had to ask him, if you can't throw a body head combination on demand on a bag, how are you going to do it on a person? Because that's what it's about. It's about a boxer and a coach. It's not too many world-class boxers out here that think they don't need a coach. I mean, I've seen some of them that take advantage and think, man, you know, I could just get any coach and I'll still be the same. And I don't think that's true. But none of them just go out there and say, hey, man, I just need you to wrap my hands and be out there in case I need my mouthpiece or something. Everybody needs a coach. And when you spar, to me, sparring is you and your coach going in there working on your craft and trying to get it right. Together. I mean, I guess there are some boxers that just go out there and spar without their coaches and meet guys at the gym. You know, I mean, but, you know, and a few of my guys, if somebody needs some work and I know a coach and I'm not around, I might send them over there and say, yeah, y'all can work. That's true. But generally, when my guys spar, I like to be there so we can learn from the sparring session. And I was at a gym last night and I asked the kid, you were in there sparring. It didn't go so well with him. And I said, well, let me ask you something. What'd you learn? You know, he was still kind of, you know, down about, I guess, however it went. I actually didn't even see him sparring. I just saw like his face when his coach asked him, was he ready to quit? But he did say something that I had to be impressed with. He said, man, I got to stop getting so frustrated. That's what I learned. But bottom line, he learned something. If you get in that ring and you spar 4, 6, 8 rounds, and at the end of that sparring session, you know pretty much what you did, the same amount of knowledge you did when you entered the ring, it was a waste of sparring. You got to take something from every sparring session you get. You got to try to improve on every time you get in that ring sparring. That's what it's for. It's not to soldier you up. It's not to toughen you up. You know what I'm saying? It's for you to learn. Every time you spar, you have to learn. As a boxer, your head is only going to carry you so far before it could be damaged. And you don't want to learn boxing getting punched on. That's not the way you learn this craft. That's how we practice. You know what I'm saying? That's not the way we learn. That's how we practice. And you want to get quality equipment when you practice. You know? That's the definition of gym rats. Guys that go to war in the gym, and then when you put them in a regular fight, they're gone. They're dead. So, man, you know, basically what I'm trying to say is, man, you know, and let these guys know, and I know you coaches run through the same thing. Boxing is not easy. Football is not easy. Basketball is not easy. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're good at 33 don't mean you're going to be a good team player. That means you can play the sport of basketball. It means you're good at 33 by yourself, saying ball and calling your own. That's a whole different sport. You know what I'm saying? That's like a kid that street fights. Boxing has rules. You know what I'm saying? So Man, you know, shout out to all you coaches that go through the same thing. Share some of your stories, man. Tell me some of your funny stories, because I know you run into some guys. I know you run into some guys all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? But the whole point of this, man, boxing's not easy, man. People put in a lot of hard work to get where they're getting. I don't know one world champion just lucked up on the deal. There are some, but really the ones I know and the ones I respect, you know, they've been doing it for a while. They put in their time and they earn their keep. And you're even, if you know them and you've seen some of these guys been boxing since they was 14 and finally win a world title, you know what I'm saying? You almost feel like crying for them, because there's so many that don't get it, and that's what they're really crying about. So many guys that fell along the wayside that were never heard again, and they made it through the storm. When you see a boxer crying because he wins a world championship, that's what he's crying about, because he made it through the storm, because so many guys quit. So many guys he walked past and yeah, man, you still boxing? Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna get back in there. And yeah, man, you know what I'm saying, man, I stopped, man. You know, coach, man, he was tripping. All that, man, that you sat and kept going and kept going and kept working and kept working and kept working and finally get that world title. That's what those tears are about. The hard work that you put in. So one coach's opinion, man. I hope y'all have a good day. Hope you're training good. And yeah, if you haven't got your tickets for November 5th, for the area fans of mine, you know what I'm saying, Mike Fox main event. Shout out to King's Boxing, man. They're doing a good job, my son. That's it, man. I hope you have a happy day in the gym.